Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Dad's Turn to Talk. My name is Bob. As always, we'd like to thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. As always, we do have timestamps for all of the topics, and those will be in the description below. So if there's something specific that interests you, you can go straight to that. Also, tonight, we do want to give our thoughts and prayers to all of those that are being impacted by the hurricane in Florida right now, including a lot of my family that's down there right now. So all of y'all are in my prayers, and everybody else here, we're thinking about all of you as well. Right now, I want to introduce my two guest hosts. As always, Derek, how you doing tonight?
Oh, quite good. Thank you, Bob. I had a little change of pace tonight, unexpectedly. But actually, it's more fun in the garage. This is weird being in here. I don't like it.
No, we don't recognize you when you're not in the garage.
I know. It's odd. But just to piggyback on what you said there, all the best to the folks in Florida. That's actually where my aunt and uncle's side is as well. So, Bob, all the best to your sister out there, my family, everybody. Keep your heads high, and hope to see you on the other side.
Well said. Mm-hmm. Josh, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, Bob. I agree with you. Definitely prayers are with everyone in Florida. It's always tough every year with these hurricanes. Prayers go out to your sister and all your family there. Same with you, Jericho. No, but it's been a very good week. I'm excited for a really cool show. Lots to talk about tonight, gentlemen.
Yeah, it's been a pretty fun week. Pretty interesting. Can't complain. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this thing started tonight. We're going to go ahead and start with our first topic tonight, and we are going to be talking about Joker 2. That's right, everyone. Joker 2 released. This is a Joker 2. What the heck do you call this thing? Joker Folly.
I would like to buy a hamburger.
I think it's pronounced Folie à Deux.
What kind of stupid name is that?
Actually, the name does go very well with the movie itself. But I wanted to go ahead and share this article here as we go ahead and talk about this film. So, film bombed. And specifically, I wanted to look at one thing about the film, and that is over the holiday or over the weekend from the 4th to the 6th, the film made $37.8 million. It's also the first comic book movie in history to receive a D cinema score. I think that actually puts it below the Marvels, and it puts it below Morbius and some of these others. So, yeah, it was pretty bad. But this thing bombed at the box office. Gentlemen, did either of you see it?
No.
Well, you spoke so highly about it.
Yeah, you basically.
I needed to run out and grab me a ticket.
Okay, I can tell you to do not watch this movie. If you liked the first one, you are going to hate this one. I mean, I guess we should go ahead and throw it out there.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Never gets old.
I just wanted to hear it too.
Yeah, exactly. It's so good.
So yeah, I wasted my time and I went to see Joker Folie à Deux, and this movie was awful. I don't know where to begin with this thing. Probably I'm gonna just start off with the fact that when the film starts, he's in prison. Well, he's at Arkham and he's awaiting trial. Kind of what we expect from where the last one left off. But he's kind of taking on this idea, or at least his lawyer's pushing this idea of him pushing a defense that he had like a dual personality, and that's why it happened that Arthur Fleck didn't kill anybody. The Joker did. It was a dual personality. And that's kind of the defense that they were pushing. During this whole time, he meets Harley Quinn, who is not a doctor. She actually, they do say she had a background in psychology, but she's not currently a doctor, I don't think. And she self-checked herself into Arkham because she wanted to meet Joker. And she spends her whole time trying to push him into becoming the Joker again. And she tells him to start to quit taking his medication and everything. And of course, he falls in love with her. Gets to the sequence where he finally embraces the Joker persona again. He dresses up in the makeup and he goes to the trial and he shows up in makeup and has this whole sequence. And that was actually kind of a cool scene where he's interviewing his friend. What was his name? The little guy, Mr. Puddles. He was interviewing him from the first film. You know which guy I'm talking about, right? So they got him on the witness stand and he's questioning him. He's like, Mr. Puddles, is that your real name? You know, he's asking him stuff. So that was kind of a cool scene. But during this whole sequence, he insults the guards at Arkham. And so he goes back to Arkham and the guards beat the hell out of him. And they also gang rape him. And I kid you not. And so he shows up the next day at the trial again in his makeup, but he's humbled now. And Harley is sitting there. She's all in makeup. And he turns around and says, I am not Joker. I am just Arthur Fleck. She's all upset by this. And she ends up leaving. A car bomb goes off and he ends up escaping. He goes and meets her and tells her, now we can be together. I've escaped. And she says, no, it was just a fantasy. We're never going to be together. The cops arrest him. He goes back to Arkham and he gets stabbed to death by another inmate who they hint at that the inmate is the real Joker. And Todd Phillips has been quoted as saying that Arthur Fleck was just Arthur Fleck. He was never Joker. And that was an identity that was just kind of thrust on him by the people of Gotham and whatnot, which I don't understand that because it seemed to me Joker was a persona he created that he embraced in the first film. I don't get that. This film was garbage. So I can pretty much see why this film bombed. It does not have good word of mouth, and it was awful. What have you guys heard besides from me?
Josh, go ahead.
Pretty much the same. Like I've been on like TikTok and people have complained. I think maybe one guy thought it was okay, but people are just not happy with the way it played out. They are against all the musical scenes, musical numbers, which is something you mentioned to me, Bobo, that it was just way too many, even though you were aware of all of the scenes. I'll say this, they showed a clip and you actually showed it in your intro of them singing together. And I watched a little and I was, oh my God. I am happy I didn't see it.
You know what the problem is about it being a musical? When you think of a musical, the songs, they're actually the songs are substitute for the dialogue.
Yeah.
They're actually talking to each other. They're just doing it in the form of a song. Or the song helps tell part of the story. This did none of that. So there was no point to the songs.
That's so
Lady
weird.
Gaga was fine. He was terrible singing, but
Right.
that was expected because, he's not really a singer.
Right.
And all of that was supposed to be going on inside his head anyway, so that was okay. I think the musical sequences looked good. They were out of place for this type of film. So, also,
think, go ahead.
Just real quick, a few interesting things of note before you say something, Derek. They, in the article, they say that Todd Phillips distanced himself from DC
That's what I
because
was
he
gonna
didn't
say.
want to have people with oversight from DC telling him what to do with the character.
Yeah,
And they also had no test screenings for this film.
not good.
So
Not good.
let me ask you guys, did you like the Hangover 2?
Yeah,
It was all right.
mind it. Yeah,
It's all right. And Hangover 3?
The Hangover 3 was
Oh.
there.
it was fine.
So my point is, maybe Todd Phillips just sucks at sequels.
Could be.
It's a good theory.
What's
Thesis
funny is
statement.
we all thought this one was going to be the first Joker. Remember, we're like, okay, he's doing something different. But remember, I told you, Bob, he's warning us. But it ended up being excellent. So I don't get what happened. I don't get it. I don't get how you do it. It's
This was
almost. Didn't you tell me he didn't want to do it?
Well, I don't think he really wanted to do it. They paid him a lot of money, and Joaquin Phoenix got the idea for this from a dream, apparently.
What? Really?
what they said.
That's where it should have stayed in its head.
Apparently,
That
it was
explains
a nightmare or something because
Oh.
this thing was awful. I looked over next to Irene, and there were times I was just laughing, and she looked at me. She was like, "Why are you laughing?" I was like, "Because this is awful."
What else am I supposed to do?
What have you heard, Derek?
Pretty much the same stuff that you guys did. Everybody, well, I mean, I was trying to read the review. There was part of me that really wanted to like this, like really wanted to like it. It just there was a lot of intrigue around it, but then you hear that the plot's just not good. You hear of all these little things that you've been mentioning, Bob. It's a musical. I don't like musicals right off the bat. Now this is going to make things worse. You boys have fun at Wicked. So
Hey, I'm going. I already got my tickets.
go enjoy.
You really?
That's fine.
I do.
So after that, I mean, I don't really have a problem with Lady Gaga as an actress, but you can't do something. You're turning the Joker into a musical. That is going to fail no matter how good she sings.
Yeah.
It's just not going to be good at all, and it's unfortunate. It's a very unfortunate incident that happened here, and probably should have stayed in Joaquin Phoenix's head, as I just mentioned, as it was his
that's
dream.
Crazy.
It just sounds like nothing made sense at all either.
It was pointless.
Yeah, just what are we doing here?
Look, my question is, why even include Harley Quinn if she wasn't even going to end up with him and he wasn't even Joker? What was the point of her being there?
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, she's a doctor. She is a doctor. That's the whole thing with her.
Was she, Bob, in the movie Harleen Quinzel before she became Harley
No,
Quinn?
they do call her Harleen Quinzel, and they also do say, but they refer to her as Lee in the movie.
Lee?
Yeah, like Harley.
Right.
So
I don't know.
Yeah,
It just doesn't-
let me ask you,
Yeah.
for both of y'all, what was your interest level in this prior to hearing that this was bad? What was your interest level? And the reason why I ask is because, a lot of people are questioning whether this film was even necessary. It was a good standalone film. Even I was hesitant. I wasn't sure what to think of this, and I was worried about this one coming out. So what was y'all's interest level to begin with?
Scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not interested in all, and 10 being I'll see it Thursday at midnight. Maybe about a 6, maybe a 6.5, maybe.
Okay.
I think it was more like you. I think I was more worried than I was, actually intrigued. I was intrigued, but I was definitely thinking to myself, this is going to go one of two ways, either real good or real bad. And turns out it was the latter.
A bit. Well, Josh, real quick, what was your interest level?
8 out of 10.
So you had a lot of interest in it.
I had interest in it, and obviously we've talked about this before on the show, how, Derek and I say trying to get to a movie is tough. I was hoping I would get to see it, but then when I talked to you and you were like, no, don't do it, I was like, okay, he knows his movies. I'm not I was like, is he joking? Is he not? And you're like, oh no. You're like, Josh, this is
Do I look
bad.
like I'm joking?
This is this is super bad. No pun intended. And I'm like, okay, then I won't see it. Because I love the first one. And I thought, okay, they're doing the Harley Quinn story. Maybe it'll pick off. But I was the only time I would say I was hesitant is when they said it was a musical. But I was like, okay, the first one was good. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt and see what happens.
You know, they really didn't even do the Harley Quinn story because really her screen time isn't a ton, from what I expected. I actually expected them to use her a lot more than what they did. So, I mean, I thought she did a good job for what her character was supposed to be, but she's not the real Harley Quinn as far as
Right.
the way Harley Quinn is actually supposed to be. In fact, she was the one doing most of the manipulating here, where in reality, it was the Joker who manipulated her to become who she is. And he consistently mistreats her. And I hate the fact that over the years, they try to portray this as some sadistic love between the two where he's madly in love with her. No, he's not. He could care less. She's madly in love with him.
The love is one way.
Yes. So I don't like that. So it really wasn't the Harley Quinn story. And then another big problem is that they took the character, they built him up in Joker. He embraces the Joker persona. And then by the end of this film, he's right back where he left off or where he started. And nobody's paying attention to him, and he gets stabbed to death, unceremoniously, turns out by the guy who's going to be the real Joker. And I just don't see what the point of this whole thing was. I think this was absolutely a ridiculous movie.
I think based on what you have told Derek and I concerning this movie and all the details we have on it, I don't think Phillips cared and just put something together. I think that's what happened here.
I don't know about that because, I mean, they had $200 million to work with this thing.
I know, but then why is it so bad?
I think what ended up happening is that he had a lot of motivation to start with. And I think as he went through it, the motivation lessened and lessened.
Yeah.
I do think that's possible.
It also could be a possibility that he wanted to give something different than the first film, and he just swung and missed. I mean, it could just be as simple as that.
Could be, but based on what we've heard in the media, and yes, the media obviously is biased, but the fact that he didn't really want to listen to DC and only talk to the two heads of Warner Brothers, it's kind of a red flag, Bob. I don't think he cared.
Well, he didn't want to make a comic book movie. That's the thing. He never did. He never did, not even with the first one. The truth of the matter is he threw some of the superhero images and stuff like that in there.
Yeah.
He threw Bruce Wayne in there in the first one, which wasn't necessary because this really had nothing to do with that. He has Harvey Dent in this one. He's got the character. So he really wanted to tell a story of mental illness about this character, and he knew nobody would go see it unless it was named Joker. I mean, that was it. That was the only reason people went to go see this the first time anyway. And this one was just so bad that the word of mouth is awful. I mean, this thing's going to be lucky if it breaks even. I don't even see it breaking even because it's got a $200 million budget. You figure 150 for marketing. So you're looking at $350 million. And then you got to make more than the 350 to actually make that money back because the theaters get a cut.
Yep.
So it's not like everything that the theater takes in goes straight to the box office.
I mean, 37 million its first weekend. I mean, come on. There's no.
Well, I mean, that's what it made domestically. I think internationally, let me see where it's sitting at for its run so far.
Well, now you've got even worse word of mouth about it too. So that number is going to keep dwindling, isn't it?
You would think so.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now, and these are numbers over on Box Office Mojo. Right now, and this is not including tonight's numbers, worldwide, it's taken in 119 million. and that's worldwide.
I don't think it's going to make it.
I don't think it's going to hit 300.
No.
It's got to make at least to break even. This thing probably has to make about somewhere between 500 and 600 million.
No way. I mean, I agree with you, but it's not going to.
And the reason I say it's got to make that is because, again, it's got to make more than the 350 because, again, the box office or the theaters get a cut. And overseas, the percentage that the theaters keep are actually usually a little bit higher than what they are here in the U.S. So it's got to make somewhere between 500 and 600 million just to break even, I would think. So
it ain't. I don't think it's gonna even come close to that. Actually,
it's sad because we all like the first one.
Yeah, I mean, this was an awful movie.
Should have been standalone.
Since you guys liked the first one, I do not encourage you to see this one.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we're going to talk about this trash? I mean, this movie.
No.
There's only so much you can trash something until. Well, no, that's not true. We talked about the Acolyte for God knows how long.
Hey, were there any cameos in this one?
No, I mean Harvey Dent's in it, but I'll tell you, you should have seen everybody trying to get out of the theater. I mean, everybody was on their way out as soon as when people got up, they were just like, oh, and, you could just feel that there was no energy in that theater, and you could see it on people's faces when they walked out. This wasn't it. So,
and it's a long movie, right?
I don't remember what the runtime specifically on it was, but it's like I'm wanting to say it's like 2 hours 30 minutes, something like that.
Because I know you said you were constantly looking at your phone.
Yeah, I was. I just kept checking to see what time it was because I was bored. I didn't like it.
Got it.
All right. Anything else?
No.
Not on that one.
All right. Sounds
good luck,
good. Todd. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so. We're going to go ahead and get into our next topic now. We've been talking about something that at least I hated. You two haven't seen it yet, but now we're going to get into something that we love. All right. Once again, we are coming back to the Penguin, and the reason why, gentlemen, we keep coming back to this is because this is good. There's no other way to say that. This is a fantastic show. Up until this point, probably my favorite show this year was probably Shogun. This is my favorite show so far this year. Shogun probably number 2, and I probably got Fallout as number 3, depending on how Tulsa King finishes. Yeah, this is good. And so let's start with you, Josh. What did you think of episode 3?
Phenomenal. Fantastic show. Well written. Boy, the acting in this show. I go back to what Derek said a couple weeks ago about Colin Farrell and what he's able to do. And Derek, I told Bob earlier today, I've never seen a show where, you have a Batman villain and you're kind of cheering for him in a way, which is a little crazy. I know. It's just, he does such a great job. And he goes, it's almost like at times a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of persona, because he's like telling the kid, he's telling Victor, your dad would be proud of you. And then in the next scene, he's got that guy who's sleeping with, who's it, Maroney's wife, and he's got
not Maroney.
Or who is it?
It's he's the head of the Falcone family.
Okay. And he is ready to kill him. And he does such a great job. And I told Bob this the other day, Derek. He thought it was good, but he doesn't think this is going to happen because he doesn't think in the Matt Reeves Batman franchise that they're going to introduce this. But the guy's name is Victor, right? Vic? How do we know he doesn't become Cyborg? You don't think so?
No.
You got to also remember Victor's father for Cyborg was a scientist That's how he ended up the way that he was.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But
There's
anyway,
no-
I just
Josh
thought
is
of,
overthinking this one.
Yeah, they are not making that tie-in here.
I don't think, and I don't know if this guy's going to survive the show.
Good.
But the way when he oh, you know what? I forgot. Should we announce spoilers?
You know
Oh.
what? Yes, let's do it.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Thank you, Josh.
You're welcome.
Good call.
I know. No, because the part when Vic takes the car and bashes it into one of the guys, and then Penguin gets in, Oz gets in, he's like, that was awesome. What about Sophia? Forget her.
I love that. He's like, leave her. Let's go.
Leave her. Leave her. We don't need her. Boy, is he going to be in trouble after that.
And what made that funny is that he's like, leave her. But a few minutes before, he was just like, I cared for you. I thought highly of you. I still do. I still love you. And then all of a sudden, leave her.
And then that's funny. And then the other funny part is when Vic is like going through how he's going to tell Oz that he wants to meet up with his ex-girlfriend. And he's like, Oz, I want to, I'm going to be leaving. And then he's like, oh, he's going to kill me. He's going to kill me. Just such a great dynamic. And Sophia, the actress who plays her, just so good. Just the way she just does things and communicates and has this kind of devious type of look to her. And every time she takes out that cigarette and smokes it, and she's got things going through her mind, and
Psychotic.
very diabolical, and psychotic. Just such a great show.
I'll tell you what, I don't even smoke, and I wanted to turn around and say, hey, can I have one of those?
Just
Funny.
drag.
What else?
She looks cool.
The beginning when they went back to the end of the Batman, and it was so funny because when you saw the sled at first, I was like, interesting, there's no Batman, and like, oh my god, they went to the end of the movie. This is perfect, and now we know where he came from. Little origin story, my favorite. But very good, really enjoyed it.
Just had to go there, didn't you?
Derek with the look of disgust.
All right, Derek, what did you like about this episode? Or okay. Tell me some of the many things you liked about this episode.
All right. When I was watching this, I started to think about the other two episodes before it. This is now a show that elevates its game on every episode. It already started off good. The directing keeps getting better. The writing keeps getting better. The acting keeps getting better. The way they shoot it keeps getting better. They improve on every level. And they leave no stone is left unturned. They make sure that every detail is accounted for. That's how you know you have an excellent show, is when it starts off good and it just keeps getting better. And even if the future ones slow down and they take their feet off the gas, you're not going to you're going to still be intrigued. You're still going to be entertained. They're going to keep you holding on. Folks, I've already signed it in. I actually texted this with Bob earlier, but this is the best show of 2024. There are good ones.
Yeah.
Don't get it wrong. Bob mentioned them, but this is the best. And I don't think it's a contest anymore. I think they won.
I mean, God, hopefully this doesn't fall off a cliff. But right now, this is just so good that, I mean, good Lord, this is great. I just want to talk about some of the scenes here. I mean, Josh, you already mentioned a few of them, so I'm going to talk about some of the things that I liked. So one of the scenes I really liked was when they tried to set up a meeting with the Triad. And I thought that was cool because they show up there where the Triad's hangout is. And Oz, he's got that goodie bag, a box, with wine and all that stuff. And Sophia's like, what's that? Hospitality. A little hospitality goes a long way, And she's like, you do realize that we pushed the Triad out? Yeah. And he just matter of fact. But then I love it because when he goes inside, they all got their guns at him and they're like, Oz, why are you showing your face here? hey, I got a goodie bag for you. You know what I mean?
Got a goodie.
I got an opportunity for you. Just can you
Yeah.
take the gun out of my face? You know?
There is something about the Penguin that is kind of endearing, actually.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think that's why they have to kind of make him that way for you to kind of want to believe in him, because he's supposed to be the protagonist, I guess, in the show.
Yeah.
So, but they know everybody knows full well that this ends not good.
Right.
But that's also part of the intrigue is that there's kind of a charm about him. I won't lie.
You want to get that gun out of my face?
You mentioned Christy Milotti as
Yes.
Yeah.
as Sophia, Josh, and how
Right.
good she is. In that same scene, she's really good because you got they're asking Oz, well, who is it that's going to be backing you? He's Johnny Vitti. And he's like, Johnny Vitti's going to back you. And she just interrupts, no, he's backing me. And it's just her expressions and the way she delivers her lines, the way she carries herself. I mean, she's just great in this. She's in a very intriguing character. I can't take my eyes off her when she's on screen because she's just that interesting of a character.
Yeah.
And like, I'm looking forward to this next episode because we're going to get to see her background. Did you guys see the promo for it?
No.
Oh, I missed it at the end there. Yeah.
So yeah, you stick around for the end because they got the preview and then they discuss a little bit about the episode. But in the preview, this next episode's gonna take a step back and we're gonna see how she ended up at Arkham.
Good.
That's fun stuff. That's good.
So, and I think that was kind of a perfect moment to do it because of how the last one ended, where we don't know what's going to happen to Sophia because leave her, keep going, please. So we don't know what's going to happen to her.
And it's not filler. It's not filler. They're going back to telling the story that is meaningful. Like you said, we don't know what's going on with her.
Yeah. So, I like what they've done with her character. And then another scene I really liked is when they're actually selling the drug on they're in the club.
Yeah.
Bliss, baby.
And yeah, Bliss is what they call it. And the little monologue she gives about it as saying how they're customers, they're trying to get away from everything. Just the way that she delivers it and the way they're shooting the sequences and you're seeing the people take the drug as she's giving the little monologue. I thought that was good. And you're seeing Vic carrying the bag around. And all during that moment as well, he's also having these flashbacks to what happened with when the bombs went off and caused the floods. So I thought that was just a well shot scene. And then the end, like the conversation between him or between Penguin and Sophia is great there at the end. Because she had asked him earlier in the episode if it was worth it, what he did to her. We don't know what that is yet. We're going to find out. But they hint there at the end that he turned her in or ratted her out or did something. And he was able to get some power off of it. And I love what he tells her. He's like, I don't regret what I have. I got this and I got that. I got the club. I got the drops distribution. I got all of this stuff from that. And then he's like, but I know I did you wrong and I'm sorry. I cared for you. I still do. And you kind of believe him that he's being serious. But then as soon as his life is on the line and Vic slams into the Maronis, leave her, let's go.
I loved her negotiating skills with that one guy in the club where she says, okay, you don't want the Bliss? I've got somebody else who'll want it. And she just walks away.
Well, no, that whole sequence, because she gives this whole monologue before that, and then she turns around and she just walks off. She's like, okay, she knows what we've got, or he knows what we've got, and if he doesn't want it, that's fine. Do the deal or don't do it.
Yeah,
we'll go to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
She's just really good.
Yeah, she is.
Like I said, an extremely intriguing character. I love what they've done with her.
Yeah.
All the acting is really good. There's a little short out there. I'm going to see if I can find it for you guys, but it's when they're putting Colin Farrell in the makeup for the first time.
Oh yeah.
And it's funny because he's talking normally. So it's that Irish accent. How's it look, guys? How are we? Are you sure we nailed it? I want to make sure I get it right for you. It's so good.
And it's amazing how he's evolved because, he's so good. But I always go back when I think of comic books to, Daredevil and him as Bullseye. And how cheesy he was. And he was like, Bullseye, Bullseye. And I was like,
there was a lot of cheese back in those days. It wasn't just his fault, to be fair.
When was that? 2002, Bob?
2003?
Somewhere around there.
2003?
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
but he is so good now. He's just...
Now, I will say, and I've mentioned it before, I think I've even mentioned it on this show, but the director's cut of that Daredevil is better because it's a rated R version that's I think it's like 30 minutes back in the movie, and it makes it darker. Now, some of the same stupid scenes are still there. Well, not some of all the stupid scenes are still there, but some of the others are back in. Like there's some more sequences with him in the courtroom, and those are pretty good. So I do like that version a heck of a lot better. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying it's better than what we got. Like if that version had been what came out in theaters, I don't think there would have been the huge backlash to it that there was.
Interesting.
There was also a Punisher that came out around that time.
Punisher.
So,
I never saw it.
Like I said, let's not blame this all on Ben Affleck. It's not all his. We're calling
Was Punisher any good at all? I never saw it.
Well, which one?
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
Oh God,
There've been
the
so
one
many.
that came out around that time, I guess.
Well, that's why you need to watch the Daredevil show.
Yes.
You'll see a good Punisher then.
Okay.
You see, Josh, and that's one you should watch. It has Marvel slapped on it.
I know I should. I will.
Because as we've established on this show, Josh doesn't watch anything unless it has Star Wars or Marvel slapped on it. That is your show right there because it has Marvel slapped on it. And you will love Daredevil. I kid you not.
There's other things I watch.
Yeah, I'll
like
have to
what?
beg you.
House Hunters?
Exactly. $1 million listing. There we go.
There it is. All right.
Oh,
Bullies.
but no, the Penguin episode 3, this was a really good episode. I love what they did with it. A little humor kind of thrown in there, like where he's standing outside the hotel door and Sophia walks up and he's like, "Hey, they're in there. I've been waiting for you." She's like, "What? Do you think they were going to finish early?"
Yeah.
But here's the thing about episode 4. Now that you know they're stepping back, they're going to find a way to make that tie to what happens next, which is good. Which is going to be all of the fun with it. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This thing has been great. It's nice to have something good on television to talk about because, I mean, we've had a few things here and there, but we've had a lot of
one. We haven't had like that one that just.
This is a hit. This is a home run.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, this one's a home run. I mean, we did start talking about Agatha, and
Lord.
Like I told you, episode 4 was like Wile E. Coyote falling off a cliff. It was bad. I don't think I'm gonna watch episode 5. I think I'm done with that because that episode 4 was awful.
You know, but let's make it a point to remember there was intrigue in the first 2 episodes.
Yes. But Penguin, on the other hand, this is really good.
Oh no, folks, watch please.
Yes, Penguin is great.
Has Lily been keeping up with all this too, or friends?
Yes, you know what? I need to touch base with her, see when we can get her back on the show. But I saw that she had posted on Twitter for episode 3. She kind of did what you said, Derek. Just give them all the awards. It's already there. Give it to them. They deserve all of them right now because
give them all the awards and some flowers.
Yes,
while we're at it. All of it.
This is just too good.
It's too good, man.
We need to get her and the gang back on our show.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
gentlemen. Anything else about Penguin episode 3?
I can't wait for episode 4. That's where I'm at.
And we'll discuss that next week as well because I want to keep talking about this thing. Yeah, I mean, this has just been too good to not talk about this because we don't get to talk about it really during the week. So it's nice to get to talk about it now.
This is the time. This is it.
Yes. It's our turn to talk. So,
yes.
All right. So we've been kind of talking DC here with Joker, Holy Adieu and the Penguin. And we're going to continue with DC with some news. All right. So today they announced some news, some casting news for Green Lantern. And let me go ahead and share my screen here. All right. Pull this down. So they have announced who's going to play John Stewart in Green Lantern, and that is going to be Aaron Pierre. And we already know that Kyle Chandler was casted as Hal Jordan. And from my understanding, Kyle Chandler officially signed today. So it's official that he's on. And I guess they're just going to finalize the contract for Aaron Pierre. Did either of y'all see The Rebel Ridge, which was a movie that came out recently on Netflix?
Is that where he was in?
Yeah, that's a movie that he was in. He was actually pretty good in that.
Okay.
And apparently he's going to be the voice of young Mufasa. So here's what they say in this article. HBO's dynamic duo for the upcoming Lantern drama is complete. Aaron Pierre joins the DC superhero series as John Stewart, opposite Friday Night Lights' Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan. It goes into a little bit about Pierre's acting. Again, he's played in Rebel Ridge. He's going to voice young Mufasa. Let's see. He played in M. Night Shyamalan's movie Old. So just a little bit about the Green Lantern series. It's going to be an 8-episode series. It sees John as the latest recruit to the Lantern Corps, an intergalactic policing organization dedicated to protecting the cosmos. It says John teams up with Hal, considered a legend among the Corps, as they police Precinct Earth. They head to the American heartland to investigate a murder and find themselves in the midst of a dark Earth-based mystery that has larger implications for the overarching DCU plans that will stretch across movies and shows. They're comparing this to True Detective. They're saying that it's almost going to be like True Detective.
So that could be good.
So here's another look at Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan. And, of course, Aaron Pierre as John Stewart.
I mean, he looks the part.
So those are going to be our 2 lead lanterns. What do you guys think of the casting here, just off of what you've seen? And what do you think of this show? Is this something you're interested in?
Go ahead, Josh.
Just to ask you guys a question. So we're dealing, obviously, with an older Hal Jordan in this one, correct?
Yes, because they say that he's supposed to be a legend already at this point, which would, I guess, would make sense because John Stewart does come after Hal Jordan.
Right. I mean, look, I don't know much about like these two in terms of acting, that it looks like it could be good. Look, the last time we saw Green Lantern on screen was Ryan Reynolds. So, and we saw the debacle that happened with that. He even makes fun of it. So,
I don't think it was as bad as everybody says it was. I don't think it was good. I think the biggest problem with that was the story wasn't what it should have been, and the CGI on the suit was bad. But I thought his casting was fine. I thought Blake Lively was fine. There were elements of it that I liked. It wasn't what it should have been.
Yeah, and I kind of like the idea that they're going with a detective type of theme with this. So that could.
Gosh, did you ever see True Detective?
No.
You never saw True Detective? What if you ever get a chance?
Yeah.
I know it doesn't have Marvel or Star Wars slapped on it.
There we go. Bullying. This is.
So you have no frame of reference here, Donnie. You're like a child who wanders into the middle of a movie.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have proof.
Where I was going with this, if you do ever get a chance to see it, you don't need to watch season 2, season 3, or that new Night Country, watch season 1 because each
Yeah.
season is a standalone season with different characters. So that first season, the 2 main leads are Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey.
Okay.
And it is a good show, that first season. Have you
Well,
seen
what
that
does
one,
this
Derek?
have to do with that, though?
Yeah.
What does this have to do with Green Lantern?
Because they're comparing it to True
Chase didn't
Detective.
look like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
That's why, it said in the article that they're comparing this to True Detective. So that's why I'm saying if you've seen that, you got kind of an idea of what type of vision that they've got for the Lantern show.
Yeah. It is very good. Do watch only season 1 of that, though.
Yeah, don't watch the others.
You start to get into the other seasons, and you're
What's
just
it
like,
on?
Max.
HBO Max.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah,
The
you
first
can
one's
get
good.
it on Max.
Yeah, the first one
But
is
I'm curious.
Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson.
Yeah,
Play
they're the leads in that.
When is the Green Lantern show supposed to come out?
Let me see if I can get an answer to that. Okay.
Because I forgot what it was in the timeline that James Gunn had given out.
Okay, this is from an article in Variety. Here, let me share my screen. Okay, this is from in Variety. It says that the show was picked up for 8 episodes. This article came out in June, so this is a pretty recent article. It says that it's going to be 8 episodes. It says who the showrunner is going to be. In fact, the showrunner is served as a showrunner on or worked on True Detective Night Country, but also worked on Ozark. Ozark was really good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is that another? Did you ever see Ozark, Josh? Wait, never mind. Never mind.
There we go. Everybody, there's the proof.
Well, no. The proof is that you're proving your own case here, Josh. You
No,
don't
I
watch.
haven't walked into anything. He asked me a question. I said I have not seen it.
No,
That's it.
you're missing the point. You're missing the point. You didn't watch, did you?
Derek, shut up.
All right, I'm trying to see if it's got a
Don't
release
start.
date. Okay, let's see.
Drink your little sun-kissed and keep your mouth shut.
No, there's going to be no mouth shut. The drinking the sun kiss will happen now.
Okay, here we go. Wait, no, this is saying that Superman is going to premiere in 2025. So I'm not sure exactly when this is going to come out.
Okay, don't worry about it. I was just curious.
Yeah, it doesn't have a release date here. But yeah, so the fact that they've kind of got True Detective in mind, and this is going to be a detective story. It sounds like this is going to be kind of darker. Because these are obviously not comedic actors, so this is going to be something that's going to have a different feel to it. So I'm kind of intrigued about this.
What do you think, Derrico?
I'm glad it's a show, first of all. I don't think it should be a movie again. However, I view the Green Lantern the same way I view Fantastic Four in the Marvel world. It's too difficult. I mean, if you are going to do it, you should make it a show. I thought Fantastic Four should have been a show. Because I thought the plot of the Fantastic Four is just too hard. They always have issues with that, trying to jam all that into 2.5 or even 3 hours.
Yeah.
The Green Lantern is probably kind of the same way. But I'd have to see exactly what they're talking about, linking this up to the True Detective thing. That kind of, I don't know. I have such a thing burnt in my head right now, like from the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern, that I just view it as like the slapsticky kind of cartoony thing. So now all of a sudden we're dark and gritty. Like that's not adding up for me right now.
I think it could work because my guess is that we're probably initially going to see very little of them using the rings, probably within like the first episode or two. And then it's going to kind of bridge out and get start growing on more of a cosmic scale as it gets revealed more and more. I wouldn't be surprised if they present themselves like in the opening sequence, because it says they're investigating like a murder or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if when they present themselves, they're presenting themselves as detectives.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it'll be something like that.
Yeah.
And the murder will probably be an alien. That was very important.
But that'll be the thing. Nobody will know that it's an alien.
No, exactly.
Right.
Then that's when they'll have to say, oh, he's the prince of Nebulitis 5 or whatever the.
But they have to use the rings, don't you think?
Well, yes. I mean, they're
yeah.
going to. I'm just saying, like, maybe in that first episode or two, and it's slowly going to get revealed that they're lanterns.
Got it.
And that's when now I'm like, okay, is the Lantern a detective agency now? Like private investigators for space? Like, what is this? I don't know. I'll give it a shot for sure, but I'm having a hard time connecting the dots in my head right now. Maybe if I see trailers and stuff, I'll get a better idea as to what's going on here. But I'm not against it.
It can't be worse than Joker.
Well,
No.
And it can't be worse than Agatha. Can't be worse than the Acolyte. So we it's got to be better than all of those.
I'm not saying it's out in the dumpster yet. It's not fair. We didn't set fire to it out there yet.
Not yet. But I think there's some potential here.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do with it.
All right. When is it coming out?
They didn't say just
We're
yet
not
on
sure
release
yet.
date. My guess is with Superman coming out in 2025 in July, I would think the soonest this could come out would be maybe towards the end of 2025. Like maybe this be the first TV show that they release.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, but that's quite quick. If they've just signed on, I mean, do they have obviously they have a script.
Well, if they could start filming now,
They could.
they could
November
have it done.
2025.
Then I mean that's
possible.
And if not at the end of 2025, I could see like towards the beginning of 2026, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
they got the actors. I mean, the actors do look like they can play the parts, so that's
right.
That's good. It's good casting.
Yeah, I'm happy with the casting. I'm fine with that. At least the initial casting.
I was about to say it's nothing
Right.
detrimental so far. That's for sure. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Give me a trailer.
Right.
I'd like to see what's going on.
Yeah,
Absolutely. All right, gentlemen. Anything else about the Green Lantern casting?
No. We'll just eagerly await it.
All right. So now we're going to move on to the worst part of the show. And the reason I say this is the worst part of the show is because it appears that hell froze over this week. As we have been recapping here every week, we do have a fantasy football league over on DraftKings, and we've been competing against one another. And unfortunately, this week, Derek and I suffered some defeat.
You bunch of losers!
So I hate to say it, but we got to get into it. So we're going to go over a recap of our week. And we're going to start off with our loser for the week. And that is Derek. And Derek, I got to say, that's a pretty low score. What is it? It's about 20. You have like 30 points off of first place.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
So let's see what happened here. Brock Purdy, he suffered the same fate as the 49ers, didn't exactly do too well. Derrick Henry wouldn't have mattered because all three of us had Derrick Henry, so that didn't help one way or the other. He got 16.6 points. Jerome Ford, I actually kind of like that pick.
Yeah.
It just didn't work out. 7.9. You got unlucky with Nico Collins.
Yeah.
Because he was off to a great start.
He's out now.
2 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown. How long is he out for?
I don't know. I almost wanted to say for the rest of the year, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, I don't think it's the rest of the year. I think it's like 4 games.
Okay, so IR. All right.
Yeah, he's out for a while, I think.
All right.
Okay.
So you got Tyreek Hill, 12.9 points. Josh Downs. I actually thought that was a good pick because that was actually a really good game between Indy and Jacksonville. That was one of 2 shootouts on the day. Eric All, I think that's his name, isn't it? Eric?
Yeah, All Junior.
Okay. Yeah. So Eric All at he only cost 2,700. He only got 3 points. I played him as well in my main lineups. That was in a shootout game. I like that play. It didn't work out though. Zacchaeus, 2 points, didn't work out. Seahawks defense did fine. Your final score was 99.16. Final verdict. Josh, can I borrow some of your points?
No, I'd never say that. I'm not asking anything.
He's so mad.
Oh, look at that face. That's a
No,
great
I'm
picture.
not.
Look,
I really
he's
love that
not
picture.
happy.
All right.
Yeah, me, I'm fine.
All right. So now we're getting to our second place finish. And I was about 8 points, 8.68 away from first. So I was a lot closer, but unfortunately didn't get there. Jordan Love, finally, I had some decent quarterback play. Not what I had hoped, but he finished with 16.96. Jordan Mason really laid an egg this week. 9.8. Again, Derrick Henry didn't help one way or the other. Wicks from Green Bay really laid an egg. He had a couple of drops on some big passes that could have helped me out. Didn't. Tutu Atwell was a decent play with 12.5 points. The biggest bomb I had was Curtis Samuel. And what I regret is I was actually thinking of playing Slayton, who was a couple hundred less. But I played Samuel because I was thinking he would slide right into that Shakir role. Didn't happen. Kraft, the tight end, was my best play at 3,500 with 24.8 points. Kyron Williams did fine with 19.5. The Broncos defense was really good with 16 points, 121.06 points. Final verdict. At least I can say Derek still sucks.
He's so mad. This is great.
All right.
Gosh, I'm not that mad. Honestly, I don't care. And I'm just over you gloating, right?
I'm not gloating.
You will. Give it time.
Since he's not doing it, here I'll gloat for him. All right, so we get into our champ for the week. Josh, congratulations. CJ Stroud, 20.94 points. James Conner, 14. Not a bad play. Again, Derrick Henry didn't help one way or another. Tyreek Hill didn't do very well, but I don't anticipate that doing well until they fix their quarterback play. Your best play, I think, was Rashad Bateman because he only cost $4,000 to get him, and he got you 15.8 points. Elijah Moore, and not too good. Bowers, he did Bowers things. Cole Kmet, it was serviceable. The Commanders' defense did well with 13 points, 129.74 for our champ this week. Final verdict, AEW. AEW.
Hey, I just want to say I wish we could have all won. You know, we all did really well.
Shut up!
Don't patronize us over here.
That's enough.
Oh God, it's
I prefer you to gloat.
So good to crush you guys.
He crushed us. He didn't crush us.
Crush anybody.
He beat me by 8 points, Josh.
I became the Babe Ruth. I called it. I told you, Bob, that I would win. Oh no, I don't think.
I never said oh no. I said we'll see.
I need to go watch another movie to review. I dominated all of you. Derek sitting there crying, couldn't break 100. Bobby, I crush you. And guess what, Bob? You and I have both won too.
Yes, on the leaderboard, Josh and I are tied at 2 apiece. Derek is in the rear with 1. But Josh,
in the words of a league of their own, Josh, you still look like a fish with a little hat on it.
Hold on, Roger Goodell's calling me right now to congratulate me.
He can't help himself. I told you wouldn't be able to help yourself.
You know what? You started it with the darn parrot. You don't like the damn parrot. That stupid parrot.
That's your parrot. You wanted it.
It is your parrot.
Wish I had the polar bear.
So,
Nope, taken. Sorry.
Seriously though, Josh, good job. You had a good lineup. I
you.
liked several of your plays there. So good job with that. Now we're gonna go ahead and get into the final topic of the night. And let's see. Here we go. All right. So on this show, we are all wrestling fans. Josh likes AEW because it's not wrestling. And
wow. Okay. There you go. Another insult. Just can't stop.
I'm not insulting you. I'm insulting AEW.
Insulting.
I'm not. Well, yes, I'm insulting AEW. Quit being a baby.
You like sports entertainment, Bob. You don't like wrestling.
Settle down. We'll get to the
Take it like a man.
Okay.
Anyway.
Relax.
Derek,
Anyway,
shut
so
up already.
let me go ahead and share this article here.
Up with you, God.
Share my screen here because we do want to talk about this deal. So apparently AEW and for those that don't know, because most people have heard of the WWE, not everybody's heard of AEW because I mean it is a kids show. It's run by a child
He just can't
who
stop.
likes to pretend that he's putting on a wrestling show. It had about 330,000 viewers this past week. In fact, if you totaled all the AEW, hold on, Josh, be quiet. If you totaled all the AEW shows together in viewership, they still wouldn't have equaled one episode of NXT. So
you're full of it.
Anyway, seriously though,
Bob, I can't believe you. You're just full of it.
No, seriously though, AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery, they have a new deal in place with Max. Essentially, what's going to happen is that AEW and will continue to broadcast both Collision and Dynamite on TNT and TBS, but they'll also simulcast it on Max. And according to this article, the deal will allow AEW in later in 2025 to begin to offer pay-per-view events. Now, here is the catch. This is still going to be at a discounted price. It says specific details are going to be determined as the company builds out the tech necessary to offer pay-per-views. So essentially, this is not going to be like the superior company WWE offers with Peacock, in which if you buy Peacock, you are able to watch the PLEs. In this case, Tony Khan is still hungry for your money, and he's trying to find extra ways to get it. So
all Bob wants is clickbait.
So Josh, as an AEW fan here, and as our resident AEW fan, Josh, why don't you tell us why this is a good deal?
Well, I thought it was a good deal up until the point where they said you're going to have to pay for pay-per-views.
That's not what you told us.
Yes, I did. I said at first it was a great deal, and then when you said they have to pay for pay-per-views, I said it's the most ridiculous thing, because Derek and I have talked about for years, when Derek and I were watching wrestling, and Bob, you were just, sitting twiddling your thumbs and doing whatever you wanted to do and didn't watch. We were saying, what's the next big step for wrestling? And Derek said, is stream, have big streaming. And he even said AEW needs to get a streaming service, a big one. And the fact that they did, but now are saying, oh, you have to pay for an AEW pay-per-view. Like Derek said, he would have watched a pay-per-view event without having to do it. He's got Max. Most people would. So I agree with you guys, surprisingly, on this, that it is a mistake, that they should have really taken it all to pay-per-view on Max for free with your subscription. And, and I've even said there are times that AEW is struggling. I think they have been definitely struggling. I didn't even know that it was on last night until the very end. It's usually on Wednesdays, and I guess, I think that's the big problem with being on TNT and TBS. They have to cater to, the baseball or the hockey, And so I'm sure that hurt, pretty much hurt. It's interesting that they go with, like Moxley, who I love and love his gimmick now, against Daniel Bryan, two former WWE guys. I would have liked to see Daniel Bryan facing somebody, who's been in AEW, or John Moxley facing somebody, in AEW. But I just think, getting back to the pay-per-view, they should have allowed, you shouldn't have to pay more for their pay-per-views, because you want to get a new audience in there. And what better way to get a new audience in there is by having it on Max with your subscription.
Now, let me ask you, Josh, you're currently paying for the pay-per-views now, right?
I pay for like 2 pay-per-views a year with them, $50. I've done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you see all the other ones?
I don't. I can't. Honestly, I don't. I can't afford. It's a lot of money. And so I tend to pick, 1 or 2 that I really want to see this year. Honestly, I don't think. What did I do? No, that was last year. The Sting one was last year, right there, 2023? Or was that this year?
I think no, it was last year, I think.
Yeah, so I know I had gotten that one, and I have always gotten. I've tried to get like All In, but I didn't get it this year. Just finances couldn't do it. So
That's okay, Josh. Nobody got it, so you're fine.
Yeah, you really didn't miss anything.
But anyway, at least I really try to get to a year if I can.
Okay. No, the reason why I ask is because I'm curious to see if this is something you would still take advantage of, because I know you're saying you get 2 a year. So would you still turn around and buy these 2 even now that it's on Max? Because in this case, you already were going to keep your Max subscription anyway. So would you still get the pay-per-views?
Yes. No, if I had are you saying if they
look, you've already got Max. That's part of you've already paid the subscription. So would you still buy the pay-per-views?
It depends if the pay-per-view is good enough. If it's a good one, then yeah.
Okay, so you would still do it.
It's exactly what I've done. I thought Max anyway. I just got excited. I got more excited that I would be able to see all of them, and that you guys would be able to see all of them, because I think they do really good pay-per-views.
Yeah, I'd be able to see them, but I wasn't going to watch them, so it's okay.
Bully.
Okay, for those out there watching, when it comes to AEW, I'm dogging on them. But I do want them to succeed, because at the end of the day, I do want them to succeed, because the best thing for the market is competition. You have good competition, you're going to have better product. So I want them to succeed. I don't want them to be what they are. They're awful. And I want them to be better, because then that would force the WWE to have to elevate their product even more. And I think you would get some interesting television that way. But so Derek, we already know that Josh is going to spend the money on them. And but why don't you tell us why this is a cash grabbing that this is, how should we say, this is Tony Khan, just being, money hungry, trying to this is a cash grab opportunity for him. Why is this a bad idea?
Well, number one, you make deals like this in order to get the profit up front from HBO themselves. You don't do this just to say, okay, we're going to put our stuff on yours, but then we're going to ask people for more money. The smart deal is get the money from HBO. But maybe that wasn't on the cards, and HBO said, no, we'll do this for you. And when you do that, now I want everybody to get the optics of this. Okay, just think about this for a second. You have a streaming service already. You're paying, what is it, a month for Max? I don't know, but
I think I don't remember what I pay for it, because I do the tier without the ads.
Okay,
so it's like $20 or something like that.
Yeah, I was about to say $20 to $25, right? You're already showing that out. Now, I don't know what the price increase is to have you buy, to have you, whatever the increase is for the watching the event itself. Is it like an extra $10?
Yeah,
Do we know?
we don't know
We
yet.
don't know. They
We don't
haven't.
know.
They haven't
They say
calculated
that the pay-per-views. So basically, they're going to set it up to where you can buy the pay-per-views at a discounted rate. So in other words, I think
$25.
so. The way I interpret that is they're still going to offer the pay-per-view through the normal channels that they do, but that they'll stream it on Max at a discounted rate. So if you've already got the streaming service, then you could get the pay-per-view. I'm guessing what they're thinking is they'll get those customers that have Max that are already paying the fee, and they'll pick up some of those customers. I kind of agree with you, Derek. A deal like this you make normally would be up front.
Yes.
The money. And really what you would think is that Max would pay AEW a certain dollar figure, give us the rights to all your PLEs, because by us having the PLEs on our streaming service, that's going to increase our subscriber count. And that's how we're going to make more money, because we're going to be able to drive up subscriptions. That's kind of what Netflix is hoping when they bought the rights to WWE.
Sure.
To Monday Night Raw. That'll drive
Get the money up
subscription.
front. Yeah.
So is it that they don't think AEW will drive the subscriptions? They're just seeing this as, okay, well, we can do this as a collaboration.
Well, okay, so I think it's twofold. I think that is part of it, and I think the other part is that AEW is hurting right now, and they need money, and they'll look to get any way that they can get it. But the problem is, this is the worst way to try to do that. You're going to build resentment now. I read that. I read the first second I saw that. I said, well, forget that. I'm not going to even waste my time.
It's the optics of it.
Yeah, and it's just like, and you know, shame on you for asking people to fork over more of their money when they're already paying for that.
Let me ask you guys this real quick. TNA has its own streaming service.
Well, that's its own app.
Do you an app that they have their? I think you can do their pay-per-views and everything.
None
of us buy that though. Like none of us shell out the money.
Yeah, but the difference with that though is that the app itself is what you're paying for there. This you're already paying, and then that app is actually, I think it's pretty reasonable. I think it's like $10, if that.
Right.
You're hitting people up twice here.
No, I get that part. But why wouldn't you buy the TNA one? Because that's just a strictly streaming one. They have their pay-per-views, right?
You can.
Because I have to want to go watch TNA.
Yeah. If you want to watch that, great. But they're not only expecting people to buy a subscription service, they're going to add on to that. That's what makes this worse. If you just buy the app, hey, have at it. And it's great that TNA does that too, by the way.
You're saying because you've already bought Max that anything AEW does should go with that versus having to pay extra. And I agree with you. I agree with you, because you would have been able to have new people coming in to see what all the pay-per-views are all about without having to pay an additional fee.
Well, if this is the best thing that they do, you want all eyes on that. Or at least that's how I would think.
I agree. I think it's a mistake. Unless what Bob said about maybe that wasn't an option.
Maybe not.
It could be that, like I said, that they're thinking this is not going to drive subscribers, that they're seeing this more as a partnership. But I just could. I've seen the pictures. I've seen the video footage of Dynamite and stuff like that. These are empty, the arenas.
No. That's some fan when they're there before the matches are starting.
No. We're talking these are during the middle of the show.
Yeah.
So, look, I know, Josh, you want to believe that everybody's watching AEW. They're not. Like I said, you could take the ratings or the viewership numbers from Collision, Dynamite, and Rampage and add those together for the last 3 episodes, and they don't total what NXT hit this week.
But Bob, you say you want them to succeed. No, you don't.
I'm telling you, I do want them to succeed.
Let me tell you, I watched WWE when they bought WCW. Derek and I both did for years, and it was not great because it was a monopoly. So that's why I want AEW to succeed because WWE needs competition.
Didn't Bob just
messed
say
up?
that?
Has AEW made mistakes with it? Yes, I've told you both where they are having some main event matches opening the show on Dynamite.
No,
which makes no sense.
there's bigger problems than just that. Didn't Swerve Strickland have like a hypodermic needle in his mouth?
Yeah.
What is that? That's not a place you need to go in any of this.
I mean, that's your ECW.
ECW did not shove needles into guys like that.
Oh, they did a lot of worse things, though, dude. Come on.
No, okay, yeah, but that was then too. This is now. You can't get away with that now.
But that was on pay-per-view. That wasn't even on national TV. That was on a pay-per-view.
All right, Josh, let's get back to what the point was. Because the point isn't whether the point I was making with the empty arenas is that if people aren't watching it, then maybe Max doesn't think it's going to drive subscriber numbers. That was my point in talking about the empty arenas, not the fact that, hey, just hating on AEW, you don't want it to succeed. It's not about whether I want it to succeed or not. That's besides the point. Fact, people aren't watching.
Why aren't you watching it, though? Have you ever given it a chance to watch 2 hours of it?
No, stop.
You know Derek doesn't at all.
Stop.
Josh, this isn't about okay. The point is people aren't watching. That's fact. Whatever the reason is, people aren't watching.
I don't know why.
And the question is whether this was a good deal because they're offering pay-per-views now at an additional cost.
No, it wasn't a good deal
for the streaming service.
It was not a good deal.
So the question is, what were they thinking when they did this deal? Because normally when you do a deal like this, like Derek said, the money does go up front because you're paying for the rights to it. We're going to show the pay-per-views, and we're hoping that will drive up subscription numbers. But if you're just getting it at a discounted rate and you're going to have people that are going to buy it just to buy the pay-per-view, they're going to end up just buying the pay-per-view instead of signing up to Max to pay the additional fee for Max and then have to pay for the pay-per-view. I don't see how this my point is I don't see how this drives up subscription numbers.
It doesn't. Maybe
the whole point when you do a deal like this is you want to drive up subscription numbers.
I know, but
Max didn't make this deal just so AEW can continue to fart around. They did this because they think they can make something out of it. So the question is, what are they thinking they're going to get out of this? That's
maybe what Derek said is maybe AEW, maybe Max didn't give them that choice.
But
maybe
then don't make the deal.
No, it could be. You might be right. Yeah. Maybe Max didn't give him that choice. Maybe Max turned around and said, "You know what? We're because let's face it, Max isn't exactly raking in the money either. There's only really one streaming service that is making money, and that's Netflix. Right. Every other streaming service is struggling a little bit. I think Max, from my understanding, was pretty close to making a profit, or it actually made a profit, but it was a small one. The others, all of them are not making money, which is why I think eventually you're going to see pretty much everybody go to an ad based streaming service that they're all just going to have ads regardless, because that's how you're going to make money, or with advertisements. But what I don't understand, again, is like Derek said, this is usually done up front because you think you're going to get something out of it. So maybe Max is thinking, okay, we're going to have a pay-per-view service. Maybe it's not going to be just for AEW. Maybe they're going to branch into other areas too, maybe into boxing and stuff like that. And maybe they're going to use AEW to kind of spearhead that, which I don't understand because, again, nobody watches AEW.
Like let's.
Gosh, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm. Am I poking the bear a little bit? Yes, I'm poking the bear, but I'm not wrong.
Let's provide some context with this too, right? When WWE signed the deal with Peacock, $1.6 billion, right, for WWE, they were going to give up WWE up front, and a huge part of that was because they wanted eyes on Peacock, not eyes on just WWE. And if they were going to pay that much money up front, WWE also just rakes in a profit off that. So then you can watch a PLE on there for free. So they don't have to, things are covered in terms of revenue.
And think about this. They got a PLE almost every single month. So
Almost.
you're not in a position where you can turn around and just buy the service and discontinue it, and then buy it again next month and discontinue it. You might as well just keep it. So it's by them having these every month, and now they've got other stuff on there, football and other stuff going on. It's reasons for their subscribers to continue to buy the subscription every month to renew. They're not going to cancel the service.
Let me tell you guys, I agree with you guys on this. I agree. This was not a good idea. I don't know what happened behind the scenes, though. We don't know what was involved in why they would have taken this type of deal when it makes the most sense. I mean, Derek and I have said, if we're starting a wrestling company, we're going to streaming because you get that advertisement. You get that landing page where you're able to put your company and your logo and branding on there with everything else. And that way more people have interest with what's going on here. If you're running a pay-per-view and saying, oh, guess what? You got to pay for that. Who wants to do that? I can tell you, you go on ESPN Plus and they make you pay for like UFC, and I'm like, I'm not going to pay for that. I'm already spending, you already spend like $10 or $12. Why do you have to spend more money on that? So
UFC is a little bit of a different deal because they've always made people pay. They've never been free ever. They've always looked to gain a profit. And plus, like, UFC is also a little bit different too because not everybody is going to want to watch like a brutal fight like that. It's meant for a very specific audience, which I think is why they probably went the method that they did. AEW is a little bit different. Well, some of their content is a little rough, but for the most part, you can still probably get good pro wrestling. But this was the other part that was mentioned with Bob too. If the company's not already generating revenue, it's going to be hard for them to justify. Look, if we're going to buy all this stuff and we expect a little something in return out of this, and maybe they were thinking we might not get it when it comes to this wrestling company. Maybe not. I don't know.
Is it official that that's what they're going to do?
What do you mean?
Sounds like it.
That is official. I mean, they've already said that they're planning like a pay-per-view service, and AEW is going to be a part of that. So they said they need to get the technology set up for it. So I don't see the point in this. I guess maybe I'm too used to the fact that I pay for a service with Peacock, and because of that, I get the WWE programming. But like Derek said, that brought eyes to Peacock because now I watch a few other things on Peacock. Maybe not a ton of stuff, but I do watch a few things. And simply because of the WWE programming every month or almost every month, and then you've got the live sports now, that's a subscription that I'm not going to get rid of. Right. I'm going to continue to pay it.
What if WWE made you pay for their pay-per-views on Peacock? Would you buy them?
No.
Okay. What about you, Derek?
No.
I didn't buy them before.
No, neither did I. I bought one WrestleMania, but that was
that's
it.
What I would occasionally buy.
Yeah. Other than that, no. No, don't need to. But now here's the thing. Here's the thing about WWE now too. There's an expectation with them now that if you have a streaming service wherever they are, it's free.
Right.
So they can't afford to do that now. They'll take a big hit if they do that.
Right.
And they don't need to. They're making money hand over fist anyway. Like they're doing too well.
Bob, would you buy WrestleMania if they made you do it?
Nope.
No matter what the card was, no matter.
Nope.
You wouldn't buy it. Okay. So it's really about the convenience.
Let me rephrase. If we were going to review it on this show, I would do it just for that.
But not as a fan.
No. Look, and it's not because I wouldn't be interested to watch it or anything like that. It's just that I'm kind of like Derek. I'm already paying for the service. Why am I going to have to pay more?
Bad optics.
I mean, it is bad optics. And I could understand maybe if you were on a lower tier, you were on the tier that, was like $10. But if you're already paying the premium tier, which I already do because I don't want the ads, now you're going to make me pay more?
Mhm.
No.
And
I
so
don't
what
like
you're saying is if WWE got rid of Peacock and they were their own thing again, you still wouldn't pay for the pay-per-view.
But you see, that's different though, because you're saying if they did their own thing, that would mean that they have their own app.
No,
And
not
now-
even if they went back to just pay-per-view, spending $50 to buy a pay-per-view.
I don't think they would ever do that at this point.
Yeah,
They've
They
been
would.
that's
I'm
not gonna
just
happen
saying,
anymore.
would you though buy it? Would you
I
still?
already answered that question, Josh. The answer is
You
no.
wouldn't. Okay. Look how mad he gets, everyone. Bobby cannot control his temper.
But when you're exhaustive as you are, Josh, it's kind of hard not to.
You know what? Kiss my.
What?
You see that, everybody? Josh cannot control his temper. He just keeps walking into these situations. He said before this show he was going to be a nice guy and he wasn't going to cause any trouble.
Yeah, but you're
He
annoying,
has-
Bobby. You poke the bear. You poke the bear on purpose.
Bob, if you just realized how
All right.
awesome AEW is, none of this would have happened.
Yeah,
Exactly,
all you have to
yeah.
do. But you don't have to poke the bear.
I know.
You
If I
just
had come
have
out
to
and
be a
said,
comedian.
like, if I
Has
had come
to
out
have
and kissed
clickbait.
Tony Khan's butt, then he would be happy
He just
over that.
has to have clickbait.
Do
He
you
just
do you
wants
have a
people to
statue of Tony
laugh.
Khan right next to your bed, Josh? Do you hug it every
Yes,
night?
I do, Derek.
Okay.
Josh, I'm sorry. Well, what I've seen from AEW, I don't like it. Now, if they get their stories together, I've told you I'd be willing to watch, but right now they're not there. Now, here's the thing. I do want them to succeed.
No,
because
you don't. No, you don't. Not at
Don't
all.
Because
tell him what he wants, what he doesn't
competition
want.
Shut up,
breeds a
Derek.
better product. At the end of the day, what has been our favorite period of wrestling?
We all know.
Right now, what's gone on with The Rock?
Josh, really?
Or the Attitude Era?
Try again.
The 80s? What are you talking about?
Josh, what has been our favorite period of wrestling?
Oh, NWO.
Not just NWO, the Monday Night Wars.
Yes.
Because during the Monday Night Wars, that's when we had everything what it is. I mean, those are the times that we still talk about to this day.
Oh.
But you got NWO, you got DX, you got Arn Anderson, Ric Flair, Macho Man, you got Shawn Michaels, Triple H, The Rock, Undertaker, all of these guys, They were all together. They were in separate promotions, but they were all there. They were all getting pushed. It was a beautiful time because there was competition and it forced each company to have to try to give their best.
Yeah.
Like right now, if WWE wanted to, they could turn around and they could put their show on autopilot and it wouldn't matter because AEW was so bad, everybody would still keep watching WWE. Now, luckily they don't, but what I'm saying is if they would bring up their product, that would actually help both companies because the best thing for the market is always healthy competition.
Yep.
The business can never be too healthy.
So like I said, I want to see them succeed. I don't want them to fail because the best thing would be healthy competition between the two. And one of these days, I would love if both were competitive for them to find a way to have at least one or two cross promotions a year. But they would have to both be healthy companies, and they would have to find a way to work together. I don't ever see it happening, but it would be fun if it did. But the only way that something like that could ever happen is they would have to be healthy companies, both of them.
Right.
And one of them's not right now.
They're technically, their stock is under TKO now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
You guys see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going through the roof.
That's the 1 year mark.
Wow.
So this is when they basically have totally hit their stride, was once they made the deal.
I'm curious. Does AEW have some stock around that?
No, they're not.
They're no longer publicly traded at this
Okay.
point.
No.
That's fine because nobody would buy it.
No one was buying WWE. WWE was very low until TKO bought it.
That's not true.
Derek, you and I have talked about that. Come on.
What? When did we talk, Josh? When did we talk about
Years
this?
ago about how low the stock was for WWE.
Yes, that was what, 6 years ago?
Yeah, shut up. You just want attention. Give up with this.
You want so bad to be right that he's inventing conversations. Derek, we taled about this.
No, we did
Don't you
talk
remember
about
6 years ago? We talked about
full
this.
of it. Derek gets an incomplete for the night. You both do. Oh, it's ridiculous. So tired of it.
We love you, Josh. So,
I don't love either of you. I'm done. I'm
Now I'm
done.
offended.
Fine. I love you both. Class dismissed.
all right. Do we have anything else about AEW
No,
Max?
Show gets an
deal?
F.
What'd you say?
So the show gets an F.
This
is
is
a great show.
I don't feel like this is going to go in a good direction, Josh. I just don't.
I have agreed with you.
Well, okay, but I'm just talking like business is already rough enough right now.
We'll see.
This
I
isn't
don't
going to
know.
help things.
It's hilarious. He agrees with us. So then we point out why we don't think it's wrong. You don't want it to succeed. No, we're telling you what the problem is.
Well, Bob, we all know you don't want it to succeed. You say
see,
it.
you keep
and you're
saying
trying
that.
to-
Yeah, he said it like 3 times.
You see, it always with you goes in one ear and out the other.
Bob, if
I
you
was
want
thrilled.
it to
I honestly,
succeed,
I
if
was
you want-
thrilled when I first heard about this. I thought it was the best move they
Yeah.
could make.
Remember,
But-
I sent you the text that
Yeah.
said, I know I dog AEW, but this is a good deal.
Mm-hmm. Until we
And
found
then
out
all
what
of
it
a
really
sudden, the details started coming out that you were going to still have to pay extra.
Well, now let me ask this though. And like, is there like a range of time where eventually the pay-per-views would eventually just become free?
I
Like
don't
if we
know.
wait like a month?
I don't know.
We don't know anything about
At
it.
least what I'm interpreting based on the articles, it seems like it's a service that Max wants to have. So
Well, why don't you just? I mean, they could still give you. Maybe I mean, I hope this is where it's going to be, but give them all the AEW content as well. Just
Yeah.
put all the other pay-per-views out. At least
I
do
know.
that.
I mean, but here's the thing: if Max wanted to buy AEW's content,
Library.
it wouldn't cost much.
No,
No,
and
because there's not a lot. There's 5 years worth.
When maybe you can
And
also.
even then, 5 years worth, it's not worth anything. Nobody watches it, so
Wow.
it
But
wouldn't
here's the
cost
thing.
much.
Shut up, Bob. You make no sense. And they also have Ring of Honor. So they actually have all that stuff too.
Josh, no, don't, do not. No,
Derek, you're
that was
done.
an abysmal failure, and it has been ever since they bought it.
I'm
Oh.
talking about from years before.
That
They
doesn't
had the
matter
entire
anymore.
library.
No. Ring of Honor's done. Okay, done. Don't bring it up. All right. Now, let's get back to the point I was trying to make. So, the point I was trying to make was that if you at least throw the other pay-per-views on there, then if you're trying to make the case as to actually spend more money, at least you have something you can go back and look at to say, you know what, this is actually pretty good. I don't think I'd mind spending a little more money on this.
So what you're saying is put all the old pay-per-views on there, and then you could watch them, and then be
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, these were kind of good. Maybe I'll buy the new ones.
Exactly. Like if at least do that to entice somebody. I don't think
Yeah.
that's a bad deal.
No.
Yeah, I know. This could be like The Price is Right. Bid $1 for it.
Come on down. $1, Bob.
God.
Well, look, Josh, that's an idea you should probably get behind because you have, and I'm being serious here. You've always sworn by their pay-per-views, saying, yeah, their TV show stinks, but their pay-per-views are good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you don't say their TV show stinks. I say that, but you do say that
No, I
they're
just have issues with the booking of their TV shows that I can't figure out, even from day one, that I don't understand why you're putting the main event at the opening of the show.
Well, they also put matches on that shouldn't be on television. They should be on pay-per-views.
Yes.
And they don't announce it or hype it, even when they do it.
No, they need to hype it and they need to, keep it going. Get it going. And then, I don't know. I mean, look, they have something interesting, intriguing with this whole Moxley thing. I don't know where it's going, and I don't know what's going to happen. They have a pay-per-view on Saturday night.
But this also gets
we'll
back to the point, though, Josh. The last time they had a story that we were intrigued in, they wiped their tuchus with it.
Which one?
The devil one.
Okay, what about Tony Storm and Mariah May? You love that one. You said it was
No, I
very
love
good.
Mariah May.
No, you said or Bob said they told a very good story.
Well, Tony Storm.
I said that it looked intriguing.
Shut up! You said it, Bob.
I said it looked intriguing because I only saw a couple clips of it.
All right,
I never
everyone.
saw the whole story. So
We'll
why
see you
can I
next
say that the whole story was good?
We'll
No,
see you
I
next
will give-
week where Bobby wears his dumb little hat and Derek drinks 5 different zero sugar sodas. We'll talk to you
Delicious,
next
all
week.
of them, by the way.
You even make that annoying.
No, I will give you this. Timeless Tony Storm is hilarious. She is funny. And Mariah May is also great for entirely different reasons. But that was fun. That was fun. But that was the devil thing was the biggest thing they had.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
And they threw that out the window.
They did.
And
They
then,
finished the thing. They got through it. They had a beginning, middle, and end. What are they supposed to do?
Getting
Just go
through
in the
it.
back?
Getting through it and being able to actually say that you're succeeding as a result, even after that, are two different things.
All right, I want to show you an example of getting through it. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. CM Punk was injured, and they got through that and put on probably the feud of the year.
I mean, that really is up there.
Let me ask you guys this. We all saw how big Cody was and how he finished the story. Do you think Cody right now is as big as he was prior to WrestleMania?
Do you mean like right now? Are you talking like
Right now.
Yeah.
Because right now it's all about, Reigns and The Rock and all of them.
Okay, as far as merchandise goes, Cody's still their number one seller.
Okay, no, I mean about gimmick and
no, but that's a telling as to where they are because you can't always just focus on what people say on social media and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day,
you post things about AEW in an empty arena on social media. You are such a hypocrite, Bob.
No, I said you can't always take everything on social.
God,
when have I ever posted on AEW on social media?
You just talked about them being in empty arenas. How did you find out about the empty arenas? Social media.
Yeah, but you said I posted on social media.
I am saying you have let us know that on social media that and all I'm asking is, do you think Cody is as big right now, not merchandise, but as being the champion?
But the merchandise
running after the title.
Okay, Josh. At the end of the day, let me try to educate you here. If you want to know where people's hearts are, look at where their money is.
You don't know what you are saying.
No. If you want to know where people's hearts are at, look at where they're spending their money. And if they're spending their money on Cody Rhodes, then yes, he is still big. That's my point. Now, I think what the point you're trying to make, I don't think that his story is as big as what it was because they haven't got that heel villain for him to face like a Roman Reigns. How do you top Roman Reigns? I mean, we're talking a guy they built up for 4 years as the ultimate villain, and to beat Reigns, you didn't just beat Reigns, you had to beat the bloodline. And that's my point, is that it's not that Cody's not big as he was. It's that the villains that he's facing, they don't measure up to Roman Reigns. And when Roman Reigns comes back, naturally the focus is going to go to Roman, because what have I said on multiple times? This is still Roman's company. It doesn't matter that Cody's still the top merch seller or any of that. This is still Reigns' company. He's the guy.
But can I tell you why Cody's as big as he is now? Josh is getting at the point that because I think I know what Josh is saying is because now that Roman's back, Cody's going to take a back seat.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, Josh.
So here's why I still think it's as big as he is. It's because Roman's not there every day. Roman's not there all the time. Cody is. and people are not blind to that, and they still do like him. There's a lot to still like about him. People like his style. People like his work, his promos, his in-ring work. They like the fact that he's a family man. Like there's still a lot to like about Cody. There's a reason
People
they put
like Randy Rhodes.
Who doesn't like Randy Rhodes?
I don't think you guys are understanding what I'm saying, though.
You're asking as if he is big of a star, as he is loved as he was right before WrestleMania.
What I'm saying is part of it, yes, but what I'm saying is I brought up Tony Storm and Mariah May, which we all said was a very good rivalry.
Who said that?
You talked about it. You said it was good.
I said it looked intriguing. I saw 2 clips on YouTube.
They ended that rivalry after it was a long, drawn-out rivalry. Now you guys are saying, because both of you hate AEW more than life itself, are saying it's bad. It's now, look at it, it's horrible. And what I'm trying to compare is, since Cody ended the chase for the title and he is champ now, do you think his chase, do you think he's lost some of that luster, that rivalry that he had with Reigns is gone, and no one else has been able to compete with that? And what I'm saying is all promotions have that. Tony Storm and Mariah May, since that left, it hasn't been as great. And now with Cody, that's what I'm saying.
Are you seriously trying to compare
Cody
Rhodes and Roman Reigns to that?
I'm just saying not Roman Reigns. I'm saying Cody has not found somebody else besides Reigns.
Josh, I already said that. We didn't 1 year without the other. I said they don't have a heel that can measure up to Roman Reigns. So yes, the story of Cody Rhodes has lost some steam. It's not that Cody is any less popular. It's that his journey has lost some steam because he doesn't have somebody to feud with. Cue Randy Orton, which is where you were saying, Derek, to go.
You need a real villain now.
Yes, we need to heal Randy Orton up and have him face Cody.
That's how I'm actually. We were going to say this for another time, but that's how I see this going now. I think Cody's going to get away from the bloodline. If this is going to go that way, he has to distance himself from that. And he has to find new villains. Because every time you go back to the bloodline right now, it's going to go back to Roman. And every time you bring Roman back into this equation, the dynamic doesn't work right now with that. It just doesn't.
There's only one person he should be feuding with the bloodline right now, and that's The Rock.
That's it.
And the only reason he should be feuding with The Rock is because The Rock is the final boss. That was the whole point of calling him the final boss, is that he was supposed to be the final boss that Cody had to overcome.
Yep.
So you have to have Cody overcome that. You have him do it. Down the line, you turn him heel, and then you have a face Roman Reigns defeat.
You tell the story all over again.
Yes, but you do it in reverse.
Mm-hmm. That's the beauty of this too, is that if you give Cody a little breathing room from that, now he's got a whole other realm of possibility with, like, even Kevin Owens right now, but Randy Orton as well. I think honestly that Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and somebody else should be their own stable.
Look at Josh. He wants to say something so bad, and he's afraid that if he says something, he's going
to get jumped.
I'm exhausted. I'm not saying anything.
No, say it, Josh.
No, I have nothing else to say.
No, I can see it. You've got it on the tip of your tongue there.
No, I really don't. I was just thinking of Kevin Owens, how they had him and Cody could have probably. Did they have any good matches? Because
KO and Cody had that barn burner, I thought, in Berlin.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen that.
It was when Kevin Owens was still like babyface at the time. So like they were trying to
now he's a heel, right?
Yeah, and because they did the match the way they did, now Kevin Owens can turn around and say, I should have beaten you. I should have taken you out right then and there. I had an opportunity to do it. I didn't do it, and that's the only reason you're champ. Now I'm tired of the fact that you aligned yourself with Roman Reigns. You did this, and now
you tried to put me into a situation I didn't want to have to begin with. You made me mad at myself because I didn't take advantage of what I should have. Then you go and you team with the guy we hate the most.
And you see, this whole conversation proves my point because we've already gotten off of AEW, so it's not going to generate subscribers for Max because we've already moved on from that because we care less. We're on to the real company.
So annoying.
All right. Anything else about the AEW?
God, I
Or
hope
are we
not.
going to continue talking WWE?
I think Josh is gonna have an aneurysm if we keep this.
You know what, Josh? Like I said, at the end of the day, man, we love you, man.
We do this because we care. We do this because we love
And
you.
Josh is thinking to himself, please don't care for me that much.
Yeah.
Stop
Forget
loving
about
me.
me.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, it was a good. It's a good show. Good week. All right, gentlemen. I think that's pretty much it for the night. Like I said, it was a good week. We're gonna try to finish it up. Where can we find you guys on social media? Josh, where can we find you at?
We can find me at the AEW headquarters, convincing Tony Khan to stream the pay-per-views for free on Max. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. I'm the family man of the Valley. I'm a realtor here in Southern California. Hit me up.
All right, Derek, where can we find you?
As this conversation has aged Josh, he's going to join me over with the old people on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Yeah, we're getting old. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I felt the
happy
connectivity.
birthday, Bob. It was Bob's birthday
It was
yesterday.
Bob's birthday. That's right. Happy birthday.
Notice I got an older guy. Notice I got an older guy than what Derek.
I gotta tell you, that worked out so perfect because I was about to say something and you cut it off with the music.
Right there and that. That's good.
Can't wait till we get to Josh's birthday.
Oh God.
That's coming up.
Jeez.
All right.
And the next one,
For me,
God
you
help
can
me.
find me over on my YouTube channel, AEW Sucks. You can find me over on my YouTube channel, Was It Good? Easiest way to find me is Bob Loves Movies, all one word. But I'll put the link. We'll put the links for all of our social media in the description below, and you can find me on X and Criticless. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us tonight, gentlemen. It was great talking to you guys, and you guys have a great night.
It was your hoot, let me tell you.
Good night, gentlemen.
Later, guys.
Bye.